My wick is dry, my body full of wax. I'm with the others, the box open. Hands are placing us in red cups, so our wax won't burn our keepers. I've heard it feels good to burn, and soon I will know. The church in darkness waits. I've been placed with 3 others crowded close together, wax on wax. No one else has company in their cup. I wonder why we were chosen. To be together rather than alone. 2 of my neighbors were removed, and I remain with the last candle. Soon the holy fire has spread to us, and we are burning. A pleasant and new feeling comes as wax flows down my sides. It warms me, and heat rises higher with a smoky scent. The hands of my keeper rest below to keep us upright. Will my wax burn him? My wax is my own body. I don't desire to have it melt away simply to warm a stranger. Why does my companion burn so fiercely beside me? Does he question the point of this journey? As our wax melts and flames grow shorter in the red cup, I notice that our bodies are very close, and our wax is hardening below us at the bottom of the cup. This thought was halted by a weight upon my head, drowning out our lights. Warmth again. Am I lit up? No, but I feel that my neighbor is burning. My wick feels damp. Was I doused in my own wax? It doesn't matter much. Do I really want to ignite again? I feel as though someone has already tried and failed. My keeper has probably given up on my flame, relying on the other to burn for both of us. Why should I lose my wax for some strange ceremony? If I burn out much longer, my body will lose its shape and structure. Will I ever be the same? It was quite boring to sit in the box, inert, immobile. The softening of my wax helped me to know I was alive, had a purpose, and could bring goodness to others. I miss the light. I desire to burn again, yet I cannot light myself. It is hopeless if I am not revived by my keeper. He must be too busy watching and listening to the holy words of Easter. They say the words, "Persevere undimmed," and may this flame be found still burning. The words give me strength, and I truly want to burn brightly more than I ever have. Soon I felt the other candle's flame tickling my wick. He dried it of old wax, and my wick began to spark. I felt power and awake for the first time in so long. I can see again. The church is bright with joy and renewed energy, just like me. Why and how did his flame reach mine? Will I be blown out again? I was shocked that these questions lingered so shortly. Trust filled me that whatever would happen, I was being transformed for some good purpose. Caught up in so much joy, I didn't notice the effect of our reunion. Our combined heat melted the lip of our cup into a sparkling, glossy ridge. I began to see that around us was more wax than I had ever seen. What parts of my body I thought were lost had mingled with my friends and reformed into beautiful droplets, cascades, and pools. Closer now, I saw the process. The wax first pools below my wick as our flames melt them. Next, small pools spill over, hardening as they lose heat at a distance. The lower our wicks go, the longer our wax stays flowing around the cup. We have nearly burned through our wicks and reached the end. We are dipping so low that our lights are almost fully contained within the cup. Red hues shining around us and out to others, right as I immerse myself in this comforting thought, we are extinguished. One final question perturbs me. Our bodies have been pushed up through the bottom of our cup, secured by spikes so we wouldn't fall. The design left holes in the bottom that I feared would spill much wax. How had we retained so much of our wax that we had given away? At the bottom of the cup, I saw the answer. Imprinted in some of our dried wax were the wrinkled and printed marks of our keeper's skin. Had he stemmed the flow from the bottom of our cup? I have heard that their skin is very sensitive to heat, much more so than us. The hole at the bottom of the cup was filled with hardened wax, meaning that our heat had etched the prints of our keeper into the wax. That he, as it burned his hand, it cooled, sealing our wax within the cup. Earlier, I noticed that he had carefully collected any spills and returned them to our cup as well. With the striated marks of his love and suffering etched into the wax to preserve us, I'll never forget these marks, even if I shall be lit to melt my wax for him once more. Finally, I rise with the very last breath of smoke, and I can see the most striking part of this journey. I see that my friend and my wax are fully mingled, and I can't see where I end and he begins. My keeper's hands are red with the heat of cooling wax, His love comforts me as I fade away. God, be a light to us, within us, strengthening us, and sometimes melting us into yourself. Your light is forever. It had no beginning and has no end. Lord, help us to shine your light through our very being, our bodies, our mind, hearts, souls, that we can become new creations, beautiful images of you and your Son, Jesus. Amen.